There are places on a woman's body that she protects more carefully than her most private secrets, not because she's been told to, but because her nervous system does it automatically. And when she stops protecting those places around you, that's not an accident. That's not friendliness. That is her soul quietly saying, I already chose you. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never miss those signals again. Before we dive in, let me drop something on you that most relationship channels will never tell you. Scientists at the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior discovered that women operate with significantly tighter personal boundaries than men. Smaller intimate zones, stricter access control, more precise filtering of who gets close and how close. But here's where it gets wild. When a woman repeatedly allows one specific person into certain physical spaces, her brain releases oxytocin at levels nearly identical to a mother bonding with her newborn child. That is not a metaphor. That is biology. That is chemistry. That is her body making a decision her mouth hasn't made yet. So what you're about to learn isn't dating advice. It's neuroscience wrapped in human behavior. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let's get into it. Let's start with something so subtle. Most men walk right past it every single day. The inner wrist. Think about what's there. Major blood vessels, thousands of nerve endings, your literal pulse point. Historically and biologically, the inner wrist represents life force, vulnerability in its purest form. Renowned anthropologist Dr. David Givens, who has spent decades studying nonverbal communication, found that exposing vulnerable body parts is one of the oldest trust signals in human history. Older than language, older than civilization. When you're uncomfortable around someone, your body protects itself automatically. Arms cross, body turns away, barriers go up. But when genuine safety exists, those defenses dissolve. So pay attention to this. Is she reaching across the table with her palm facing upward near you? Is she showing you something on her wrist and letting your fingers linger just a moment longer than necessary? Is her forearm grazing yours without her pulling away? Those moments feel like accidents. They are not accidents. A woman who hasn't emotionally chosen you will instinctively guard her wrist, even subconsciously. But a woman who already has, she won't flinch. She might even lean into the contact. Research published in the Emotion Journal confirms it. Touch to vulnerable body parts activates brain regions tied to trust and social bonding far more powerfully than touch to neutral areas. The inner wrist is ground zero, and it's just the beginning of the map. Real quick, if this kind of deep psychology-backed content is what you've been looking for, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the bell. I drop videos like this every week, and the algorithm won't always show them to you. Don't miss the next one. Now, back to the map. This one surprises people. But once you understand it, you'll never look at this moment the same way again. Her hair. The Touch Research Institute at the University of Miami found that hair touch produces measurable relaxation responses in the parasympathetic nervous system. In simple terms, when the right person touches her hair, her body physically tells her, you are safe. Let your guard down. Now here's the distinction that matters. Women touch their own hair constantly. Self-soothing, flirting habit. That's a separate conversation. But allowing someone else to touch her hair, that is an entirely different level of emotional access. Picture this. A woman is talking to a colleague she respects, but feels nothing romantic toward. He reaches over and tucks a strand of hair behind her ear. Her reaction? Internal alarm, awkward smile. She pulls back. It feels wrong, even if he meant nothing by it. Now put that exact same gesture in the hands of a man she's been quietly falling for. She doesn't pull back. She closes her eyes. Her breathing shifts. Same action, completely different emotional response. The only thing that changed was her investment in him. Evolutionary psychologists at the University of Albany found that hair quality is one of the primary subconscious signals humans use to assess a potential mate's health and genetic fitness. By letting you touch her hair, she is granting you access to something she uses to present herself to the entire world. That is not casual. That is intimate. That is trust you earned, even if neither of you said a word about it. Now we're moving into serious territory, the waist. From an anatomical standpoint, the midsection is the core, vital organs, center of gravity, the physical marker of feminine form. Proxemics research, the scientific study of human spatial relationships, classifies the area within 18 inches of the body as the intimate zone, reserved exclusively for romantic partners, family, and deeply trusted friends. When a woman is comfortable with your hands on her waist, sustained, natural, unhurried, her brain has already placed you in that inner circle, consciously or not. Here's how you know the difference. An unwanted hand on a woman's waist at a crowded bar, she twists away instantly, creates distance, removes it. The discomfort is visceral and immediate. But with someone she's emotionally invested in, the waist becomes an anchor. She might lean back into your hand. She uses it as a point of warmth while she continues talking, laughing, existing in the moment. Her body isn't pulling away, it's asking for more. A relationship therapist once told me something I've never forgotten. The waist is where we hold ourselves together, literally and figuratively. When a woman lets you hold her there, she's saying she's willing to let you be part of what keeps her grounded. And here's the layer most people miss. Waist contact often happens in public, walking through a crowd, posing for a photo, sitting side by side. She's not just comfortable with the touch, she's comfortable with the world seeing it. That is a statement. That is quiet claiming in both directions. If the waist is serious, the lower back is profound. Here's the psychology behind it. Humans are evolutionarily wired to protect their backs. We can't see what's approaching from behind. Our spines are exposed. Our defensive instincts are compromised. So allowing someone to touch your lower back requires what psychologists call instinct override. Your primal brain has to stand down and let your emotional brain take control. That only happens when the trust is deep. Research from DePaul University examined touch patterns across couples and found that lower back contact was one of the strongest predictors of relationship satisfaction and long-term bonding. Couples who regularly engaged in this type of touch reported significantly higher feelings of security and emotional intimacy. It makes sense when you think about the context: guiding her through a doorway, standing close at a gathering, walking together, maintaining connection without needing to hold hands. Every one of those moments communicates one thing: I've got you. You don't have to look behind you. I'm here. And when she initiates it, when she subtly positions herself so your hand naturally falls there, when she creates those moments without announcing them, that is not coincidence. That is orchestration. That is a woman whose emotional investment is complete and whose body is finding ways to express what her words haven't said yet. Before we get to the most powerful zone on this entire list, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. This is the kind of content that takes hours of research to put together, and it's completely free. One click keeps it coming. Subscribe, ring the bell, let's keep going. Everything we've covered leads here. The face. Princeton University research shows that humans form first impressions based on someone's face in under 100 milliseconds. Our faces are our primary communication tool. Emotion, identity, connection, vulnerability, all of it lives here. Thin skin over critical sensory organs, thousands of nerve endings, the part of you the entire world sees and evaluates every single day. There is no more personal real estate on the human body. So when a woman allows you to touch her face, cupping her cheek, tracing her jaw, simply brushing something gently away, she is not just tolerating a physical sensation. She is granting you access to the most guarded place she has. Dr. Dashay Keltner, psychology professor at UC Berkeley and one of the world's leading researchers on human touch, found that face contact between romantic partners activates deep attachment reward centers in the brain. This isn't just pleasant, it's bonding at a neurological level. And watch for this. Women who are falling for someone will often create opportunities for face contact. She mentions an eyelash on her cheek. She leans her face into your hand when you're close. She holds your palm against her cheek during a quiet conversation and just stays there. These are invitations, and they are tests simultaneously. A woman who hasn't chosen you will pull back from face contact, instinctively, automatically, without even thinking about it. It's too much, too intimate, too presumptuous. But a woman who already has, she'll close her eyes, she'll exhale slowly, she'll lean in. And in that moment, no words are necessary. You already know. Here's what connects every single thing we've talked about today. Physical touch is emotional language. Women do not grant access to vulnerable areas casually or randomly. Every permission is a declaration of trust, of comfort, of investment. When she lets you into these spaces, she is speaking in a language far older than words. She is telling you things she may not even be ready to say out loud yet. And the progression matters. She doesn't hand over all of it at once. She opens gradually, starting with subtle zones, slowly welcoming you deeper as her feelings deepen. That progression is a mirror of what's happening inside her emotionally. Understanding this isn't about strategy. It's not about manipulation. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing when someone is offering you their trust and showing up in a way that honors it. Because the men who understand these signals don't have to force connections. They respond to invitations that were already there. And those relationships feel effortless because they are built on something real. The body does not lie. When she lets you into these places without hesitation, without discomfort, without pulling away, her heart has already made its decision. The only question left is whether you're paying enough attention to recognize it. Now, I want you to do one thing before you close this video. Think about the woman in your life right now. Go through these 5 zones in your mind. Which ones does she welcome? Which ones does she avoid? Your answer tells you exactly where you stand. And if you want to take this further, watch the video on screen right now. It's called When She Touches You Here, It's Not an Accident. It covers the signals she's sending through her own touch patterns. And it completes everything you just learned. Because understanding her permissions is only half the picture. The other half is recognizing when she's reaching for you. That video is there. Click it now. And if this one gave you something valuable, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You might just change the way they see the world. I'll see you in the next one.